Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you stopping by. We're back with the Vatore family here. We're going to be looking at the speed renovations of their physical characters, their actual beings. And so if you haven't seen the first part, I would definitely recommend viewing that first before looking at this video, just because the first video also kind of talks about the lore of their family and all of that, but I will be also going into it in this video. But if I do miss anything, go check that video out if you want to learn a little bit more. But anyway, this is Lilith Vatore. She is the eldest of the two Vatore siblings. She has a younger brother, Caleb. She is a vampire, obviously, and she is very kind, very good, very generous. She doesn't get along with the other vampire in her world, Vlad, because he likes to bite people and get plasma from other Sims that way to be satiated and grow his thirst. And the Vatores really aren't about that life. Caleb is pretty in the middle about it, but Lilith is extremely passionate and very almost strict about her morals. She's very, very dedicated, and this is also because she wants to try to give vampires a good reputation and a good name within the sim world, because with Vlad going around and unconsensually breaking into people's homes and drinking their blood, it's not exactly kind. It doesn't really give a good reputation or a good visual for what vampires are, and the Vatores, especially Lilith, want to try to change that and challenge that, because she believes that vampires are just like anybody else. You know, she grew up with normal people, just normal Sims. She didn't grow up really being able to be proud and an out vampire. She and her brother were adopted at a very young age, and their family absolutely hated the fact that there were vampires and basically just never let them really shine and be themselves. And so they were very insecure and felt very vulnerable being vampires. And now that they are moved out and they're on their own and they have found some family secrets in their new home that they gained through the inheritance of their grandmother, their old family home, they kind of are realizing that they never were alone, and they're learning more about themselves that, you know, they never really had the opportunity at all to do. And I know that Lilith especially really appreciates that, because I think if anything it was eating at her a little bit more than Caleb. Again, Caleb is pretty indifferent to a lot of things, and I feel like that's kind of why Lilith and Caleb might not be always on the best foot with each other. They do clash and argue, even though they do love each other. They've been through a lot together, so they definitely have each other and really only each other. But Caleb is more of a kind of nonchalant person, whereas Lilith really, really likes to put herself out there, and even if it's going to make her look silly or dramatic, she just wants to stand up for what she believes in and do her thing. So I really, really appreciate that about her. She has a really good drive and really nice motivation to just keep going and not care what anybody else says or thinks, and just to do what she thinks is right, which is very inspiring and very cool. So she's also, again, an athlete. I only gave her this career because that's one of her original traits as a sim, is athletic, and I didn't exactly know what other traits she should have except for maybe being family oriented, but I did make her loyal, which is kind of saying that she's loyal in a lot of aspects, loyal in her family, loyal to herself, loyal to her dream and like passion of wanting to prove that vampires are just like anybody else, and that they aren't evil and anything to be afraid of. They're just normal people trying to live normal lives. She is attracted to female Sims, so she is a lesbian, I guess you could say. She likes Baroque music, romance music. She loves fitness and handiness. She loves to write and play the piano. And now I'm going into her dark form, which is what you would call their vampire form, like their vampire self, and going in and changing all of that. I always unlink the two forms from regular sim form and vampire sim form, just to make sure that the changes that I just made don't get messed up. So I didn't exactly know how Lilith would look, but I have never really created vampires before other than Vlad, and I feel like with his dark form, I really kept it uh, similar to his regular form. And so with these two, I kind of wanted to give them a completely different look as to their vampire selves. So Lilith has black eyes, kind of scary. Maybe that's why her family as well was like, you can't really be your dark form around us. Like, not that that's an excuse. You should always be supportive of your children, but yeah, I mean they definitely stand out in their vampire form. And this is Caleb, the younger brother of Lilith, and again, just going through and changing his facial features, making him look a little bit more realistic. At least in my opinion, I feel like it just kind of gives the Sims more character and makes them look a little different than each other instead of them all having the same facial features and facial structures and all of that. But Caleb is very handsome. Again, he's pretty indifferent to a lot of things. He's just very casual. He is a bit posh, so he kind of likes the finer living and everything like that. He likes to spoil himself because he didn't really have a lot growing up. His family didn't really treat him the best, so again, he loves his sister and he wants to kind of spoil her and give them both the life that he thinks they deserve. So, very cool guy, but also a little bit uptight and kind of materialistic. I believe that's one of his traits. He just really cares about money. I can't blame him because, again, he's always struggled, and so he wants to make sure that he doesn't ever have to struggle again. But he is attracted to everyone. He is romantic, so that makes sense. He is, again, kind of into the finer sense of living, so he likes to spoil people, go out on dates, party, and so he's also an insider. He talks to a lot of people, and he is materialistic, so again, he kind of buys more expensive stuff. And so now that they've moved into his own home, he's really excited to start to um, build his own comfy, cozy, and elegant manor. So again, just going through, giving him some random accessories, painted his nails black. We love to see it. Again, he's kind of a posh dude, so he's gonna wear kind of fancier clothing in a way. He tries to wear like name brand and look very clean and well taken care of himself. He is really all about like his presented self and how he perceives himself to the world and how other people perceive him. And again, this could be because he was always afraid of being a vampire and he was taught that that was a bad thing and that he should hide away from that. And so now maybe he has the ability to kind of be confident and put himself out there. So you know what? Love that for him. But yeah, he can kind of clash with his sister because he just kind of is, again, indifferent. He doesn't really understand her extreme passion for a lot of things, and so he can kind of feel upset, like she needs to calm down, she's being too strict. And he's his own person, he's not a kid anymore. Even though Lilith means the best, she kind of can come across a bit much because she sees her brother not being as passionate as she is about being a good vampire. He's okay with drinking other Sims plasma if it's consensual, but Lilith is completely against it, and so they kind of clash on that part. So yeah, he likes Baroque music, romance, spooky. He likes to fish and, again, work with his hands. He also loves to sing and play video games. He's just kind of a pretty well-rounded guy. He has the research aspiration, which means he just wants to learn as much as possible about everything, which, again, his sister kind of doesn't enjoy that he spends a lot of time just doing anything. She wants him to really be passionate about what she is, but I think she is learning that she can't control him. He has his own, likes and dislikes and wants, and so she's trying to learn to give him his space, but they do clash a little bit sometimes. So the two of them are available on the gallery again. The description I gave for them is: after graduating high school, siblings Caleb and Lilith moved into their long estranged grandmother's home. The decrepit old manor comes with more than the two expected as they start to uncover their lost past of how their family became undead. So I'm really, really proud of this renovation. These are probably my two favorite Sims I've done so far. So yeah, that is the speed renovation of the Vatore siblings. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment letting me know what you thought, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're down there. I appreciate your support, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.